Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be part 2 of this Honda Trail 90 that I picked up last year. That sat for a very long time. I think the last time it was registered or inspected was 1982. Last video we got it running. It runs really nice. The bike seems like it has 1,100 miles on it, and everything sounds nice. The motor's nice and quiet. The timing chain doesn't rattle. Got it to idle. It's got some issues that we're still going to go move forward with, but so far I'm happy with what we got. So a couple of things. One is a YouTuber contacted me and was gracious enough to mail me a fuel tank that is supposedly the same color or really close to the color, because the one that we have is just trashed. That one is pretty bad. I think if you really push your luck, you'll be able to push your fingers right through it. Actually looks like it's rotted through right there, as a matter of fact. Anyway, we'll see how that one comes, and we'll probably still have to treat that one, but for now we're going to move forward and not worry about a fuel tank. But on the last video, we put a good battery in it, hooked it up. After we got it running, we had no lights. Only thing that worked on it is the horn, so we can look into that. The exhaust is rotted out. The whole bottom of it is gone all the way across. Oh, we're down and across, and it looks like somebody tried to put some kind of tape or something on that. So we're going to pop that off and just take a peek, possibly. Let's have some fun and see if we can rebuild it. It is looking pretty sad though, so that may not be possible, but we'll give it a shot. So let's get you in the stand, and I think probably where we should start is this headlight is sitting on an angle, a lens for it, so somebody was definitely in here. Just for shits and giggles, let's pull this off. This is where all the wiring and everything is connected. Let's take a quick peek inside here and see what we got going on. Let's open that up and see what we get. That's it. Come on. Oh. The little things that get you. Need some lube. Let's see if we can influence that guy a little bit. I guess the back of it. There we go. Try going tighter. There you go. A little bit of play around with it. Sometimes you know what it is? There's a nut on the back side of it, like encapsulated, and it's just kind of turning a little bit. It's not the screw breaking loose. It's probably the whole thing turning yet. What I might do, take a whiz wheel and actually just cut the front of it right off. It's just a nut and a bolt. Okay, watch your eyes. Burn off that WD-40. Somebody soldered a wire onto the headlight, I could see. I don't see anything ridiculous other than someone replaced a bulb, and this was an assembly. You have to buy the whole thing as one piece. So it looks like somebody drilled out a socket, or not quite sure, and soldered another one on there. I like to see if I have a 6-volt power supply. I think I do. and we'll tap on. Maybe we'll poke around and put power to a couple of things and see if they light up. Either that, we just put an ohm meter across them. We'll check, see if the bulbs are good. As a matter of fact, yes, we do. And there's actually another donation from a subscriber. You guys are awesome. Let's ground the body of it, and we need to tap into the blue and the white. So one's gonna be low beam, one's gonna be high beam. Let's get in that one. Do you see a nothing? Not green. I don't make sparks. It's unplugged white. Yeah, nothing on that one either. I'm going to double check, make sure I have power coming off of this power supply. Okay, nothing like working on something you're not sure the original stuff is doing what it's supposed to. And yes, it is. So that does work. And we put power to that, and it does not work. What is popular to happen, I talked about in the other video, is these bikes don't have a voltage regulator. I'm gonna go grip on that. They don't have a voltage regulator, and if you run it without a battery, the battery is what buffers or maintains the voltage spike. So the bike, if you rev it up, who knows what it goes to, it could probably go to like 14 or 15 volts unregulated because of the battery. But when the battery's on there, it probably makes it let it go up to about 7.2, something like that. I guess on my part. So without that, if you run the bike and rev it up and turn the lights on, it will blow all the bulbs. So that bulb is no good. Let's go pop off the directionals, and we can look at the tail light too. Yeah, see what out back brings us. It felt like it was stripped out. That one backed off all the way. The other one didn't. I could physically see that has at least one blown element. I think the top one's done too. Yeah, shits and giggles. Let's give it power. I'm making you dizzy, bouncing around the bike. Alright. Outside is ground. Yeah, seeing a theme here. So why don't we try and steal the bulb off the back of that one. It's nice, the lens is already off. I'm not saying it's going to be any good for us, but I think one of them's gone. Let's see what this one does for us. There we go. Yeah, one's gone. Alright, so we know we need bulbs. I'm going to throw this in the back anyway, but really rusty. Turning. Clean out the slot. You know what I mean. Get it? We have to climb up there. Sometimes a regular flat screwdriver on a Phillips or yes, there we go. Save the day. Doesn't have to fit down into the taper. You can kind of catch it on the outside two edges. appears to be good. So I'll give that one some power too. Huh? Yep, those two. Or maybe not. Yeah, it's the hot in the ground. So I'm going to say every bulb is toast, and that's probably what the electrical problem is. Yeah, now I can see it, it's broke. Well, I'd say next thing on the agenda is why don't we get that exhaust off of there? Try to, without breaking anything. And that's already missing. That one's already missing. This one's already missing because it attaches to the gas tank. Just the two on the front. What do you think our chances are cracking those loose? I like. You should be a 10. There we go. I like using a wrench instead of a socket for cracking stuff that is like, is it going to break? You get, I think, a better feel. I'm not liking that. I may go the route of heat. Let's go. I can't even get the ratchet on the closed end on it. You know that feel. You're just on the verge of snapping it. Oh, you got movement. That's the sound you like. A little crack. Even if the stud comes out, sure beats breaking it. Makes a 10-minute job, an hour job. Once you usually get them loose, then if you want to go to a socket, you can. But if at all possible, I like to put a wrench on it. I just get a better feedback from what's happening with the bolt. You can tell if it's just kind of flexing on you, or if it's really kind of crack loose. Right. We'll get that out of there. Let's see if it takes exhaust off. Let's see how it responds to a little bit of heat. I tried again with the wrench by itself, and it was not having it. Good way to get rid of cobwebs too, but they stink. Gotta make her red. Exactly red, but mosquito. Done. Took him out. I'll get it with heat. Oh. Think that was tight and rusty? It's still really on that verge feeling. I think we got it now. There we go. Yeah, if you can get in the glow, generally you're much better off to winning the battle. And once it's off, stick a little wire wheel on a whiz wheel. Just clean the threads up. I used to have a set of like metric thread chasers. Chasers are different than taps. They're really not meant to. They're meant to clean the debris, the dirt and rust out of threads, not really cut threads. They go on a little easier too because they're, you know, looser fitting. Tell you one thing, you know that wrench is getting pretty hot too. Should move my hand for when I drop it. Doesn't give me a permanent tattoo. I have enough of those. Let's get ready. Here she goes. Right in the tin. Can we get that muffler off of there now? Gotta step back over. I don't know if it's holding on anywhere else. We're in. And we're out. Let me set up, I'll show you. And that's what we got. Hold on. There's it. You think? What you guys think? Actually, physically looks like rocks are coming out of it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. This gas tank. Might be a little hard to save because just the amount of rust that is in it. It looks like that muffler. Anyway, the muffler. So it's just gone all the way. That's done all the way to there. I priced them. You can get like a Chinese knockoff delivered for like $140, and I think better ones are like $300. I'm not going to give up hope yet. Looks like somebody already tried taking screws out or putting different screws. I'm going to get rid of the heat shield and we'll take a peek at it and clean that mess up. Alright, what's your over under on those screws? I'm giving it, that's not even a Phillips, I don't know what that is. So I'll give that one a 0. I'm wondering if we can maybe almost like straight pipe it, make, come on. That's not even a Phillips. I'm gonna grab vice grips on those too. I don't think we're gonna be able to get in on soaking anything in that. I'm gonna get vice grips on these two, twist them out of the way. Worst case, we'll drill out that back one. Let's see how this works. You know, if you got mass sticking up, just get on it. Gives you so much more surface area. That's not even a, it's not even a Phillips. That's not even a metric rather. And this one, that one's not even a Phillips. So let's go see what they made for patches. Nope, not until you get that. You forgot one. You guys forgot to tell me. Well, before we drill it out, I tried a bunch of different screwdrivers. Let's go try the old shake and break. I have a feeling so rod is probably just going to push down on it, but let's give it a shot. It went to go, but the problem is that is not the correct tip. That's just a regular Phillips. So, a drilling we will go. But first, a nice pop break. Orange or red? Nope, 2 bars. See how long we get. Off with your head. Pun intended. Alrighty. How fat are you? Not that big. That should do it. There she goes. All right. Let's see. I think we are pretty much gone. Let's tap on it a little bit. Grab a hammer. I think if I think up to right about here is good. I wonder if we could take a piece of pipe that's roughly this diameter and we'll just build off from the end of it. We'll just cut it and kind of straight pipe it. I wouldn't mind it being a little bit more throaty. I don't need the baffles or nothing in it. There might be some in the front that can stay too. I'm gonna go measure this and give ourselves a rough idea. We can cut this bracket off, maybe weld it back on and make a little hoopty. I don't care about the taper in the end. We don't have to have that. We can just let it go straight out. Maybe insert like a VW bug tailpipe inside it and weld it. If we feel the necessity to. All right, I'm gonna go see what I got for pipe. We need to be extremely accurate. No, we don't. I'd say she's kind of oval. Let's go with this dimension. Come on, fingers. I think it's just crushed down, is all it is. I think if we cut it, we could probably open that up, push it back up again. So we'll say whatever that is. Back into the stash we go. Is that steel? Piece of muffler. Gives yourself a rough idea how far away we're way off. We need much larger. That looks pretty heavy wall though. It's kind of thick. I think I'll weigh about 10-pound muffler. You got a couple of mufflers. They're gonna be too big though, right? They're gonna be way. Yeah. I want to save those or something else. I don't want to cut those up. Those can go though. Not gonna work. That's thick. That's really thick. Maybe I'll put a stash on the floor too. I'm still bringing stuff over, so I don't have as much stuff to pick as I normally do. Alright, I'm gonna keep looking. What about that one? Actually, even kind of crushed oval. I think, hopefully it's long enough. Yeah, maybe. It's starting to look like that was meant to be, huh? It's just enough length. If we're going to cut it here, if we cut that flat, I even leave it just like that. That would be, yeah. Look at the inside. Maybe. Let's take a whiz wheel and cut this thing open and see what we got on the inside. Well, we wrap some tape around it to give us a fairly straight line. I think right about it's leaving its DNA also on the bench. You want to cut on that side or that side? Let's see, right there. Yeah, because that's making it. I'm going to sneak up a little bit more just because of the amount of pipe I have. Yeah, you try turning the camera on and off with gloves on. Be nice if we can keep that inner structure, you know. Yeah, it looks like there's a bracket right there we can cut. Or not. Or just do that. Let's see. A baffle that is crushed. I hammer all that out straight. Just leave that in there. Let's go beat it with a hammer. Without gloves. This right here is the, I think that might be the outer skin. Yeah. Maybe okay though, maybe we'll just leave it alone. You can get over the top of it. I'm going to de-ovalize that. Meet the de-ovalizer. Hopefully. How close do you think we got? We can go a little bit more, and that bottom looks a little... Yeah, still a little oval. A little more. And still looks pretty good. We're going to go find out right now. See how this does now. It's going to be close. I think that needs a little bit of an attitude adjustment with the hammer. And sometimes you just got to let go. Think almost the same size. I wonder if we'd actually get it on the inside. I'm going to work on the shape of that and try to make that a little bit more round and clean up the edges. Knock the shoulder off. We either got to taper this down for the pipe or get the other one inside it. I'd like to get the other one over this, probably the best. I am opting for over. I'm going to get rid of some of this lip. I think if we grind it back far enough, it'll allow us to kind of taper this in a little. Hoping. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go slice one of these off flat and see how that works out. Let's take care of that one on the bottom. Yeah, it's like the exact same size. I could probably just weld it on the outside edge if I really want to. I'm gonna try putting a hose clamp on that. See if we could just shrink that down a little bit. And if it doesn't go, then maybe we'll just butt weld it together. Or just maybe beating it with a hammer. Always like that method too. I mean, you think I'm gonna slice my wrist right now? I could slice the pipe and open that. The only reason why I didn't want to go on the inside is because there's 3 more attachment points that's holding the center pipe in there. Should probably put a dent in those to get it to crush. How about we try crushing it with a exhaust clamp. You knew what I meant. Should make it nice and round too. You think overdo it? How about... we just give her a tad taper. Well, she's already down on her luck. Yeah, that little bridge is really fighting it. What do you think? Think it'll go? It's like right there. I said get smaller. Just moving now. We're on. Let's go. Take that clamp off and see if I could tap this pipe down and have each of them kind of mate into each other. I would say we would want that baffle turned like that. We're going to take it apart again anyway because we need to clean it up so we can weld it. But give her a few love taps. Let's go back over to the bike and see what things look like. Let's see what that did for us. So roughly there, and we could hang it. We can't because we don't have a gas tank sitting on it. Let's go get the other pieces. Actually, let's just eyeball it real quick. I think that'll work because don't forget the guard still has to go over it. That piece is still going over the top of the whole thing, so like that. One of those ways. That, after we paint it black, I think it will disappear pretty good. I want to get the gas tank and seat on it and cover it. We're just going to set that stuff on it because I know we have to make a cutaway for where it goes around the shock. Where the old one has, so that still needs to be notched out of the other pipe. And it takes a minute and put some parts on it. There's some of the plastic sitting on the tank, the seat, and that piece. This cover looks like it uses the screw hole for the battery. And yes, the battery needs some foam rubber put around it on the last video. Didn't have the inner cage. We stole it off the other bike, but it's still missing some support. Think we're doing this right? Now, lay that pipe on there. I don't see what that, I still don't see what that mounted to. This one. Can't be that same thing. Gotta be in the hole. Not cooperating. I should probably throw a screw in there in the front one. So it needs to lay right in there, and it has a support bracket that goes to that seat bolt hole. I bet you that seat bolt has like a standoff built into it. We go check the stash of hardware that came with it and see if we have something. I'd say We want that one right there. That should do the trick. So, long one. Should probably. Yeah, close enough. Can we get on that? Move over a hair. It's got to come forward. Just run it like that. Perfect. We're going to clearance that spring. Looks pretty good though. You think maybe just a hair? Well, this is floating, so it's not gonna. There we go. What about there? Yeah. Let's figure out what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll mark the center of that. How good's your carpenter's eye? You need to go from there. And the shark is The shock is on an angle. I wonder if maybe we should lay it in slightly like that instead of straight up. And let's give ourselves a index mark on the muffler itself. Actually, let's go pretty far, because we're going to end up cleaning up some of that weld. And I'm not sure about how we go about indexing. I don't think I even mark it. I would call it, you want to go in there? And try to mark the same distance out on the bottom. Good, that'll be our kick in on each side. How much? Put that guard up. Make sure we're not missing anything. Let me see which way it went. You remember what side had the paint on it? That covers more of the leg area. That definitely would not be left open. So I'm wrong with that. This just needs to be curled a little bit, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. We can weld a couple of nuts on it. This needs a little bit of... We'll deal with that later. Alright, let's go see if we can make a notch. So that's what it was. It was a pretty good curve in there. I was thinking heat and beat, you know, like we heat the area up and we just lay a pipe over it and beat on it. I'm not sure. I have a feeling we do that. We're just going to really squish the thing out. We can get fancy and take a piece of pipe and cut it and kind of lay it in. So that would go something like that. And then that. If we were to cut that out of it, it should be symmetrical at least. On an angle, but symmetrical. The outside of that line. And the outside. This one looks like it's a little spread out a little bit further. Let's go and cut that out first. Actually, let me go find a piece of pipe before we do anything. Let's go cut that out first. We'll lay it in, and then we'll kind of like eyeball the shock. I think, yeah, it's probably what it is. The width of the shock is going to be a little further out. Yeah, we can open it up and lay out that piece, but getting ahead of ourselves. I grabbed a piece of exhaust pipe. We'll make that for our section going in. Now the fun part. A good way to do it would be to jig it up in a drill press and have a hole saw and buzz through with a hole saw. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're hacking it. I just cut that piece of pipe in half. Probably need a smaller piece. I'm gonna go take that and hit it on the sandblaster, and then we'll start to roll that down so it fills the gap in, and then probably come around in the back with a Sharpie. And we'll cut off the excess, put a tack on it. So we'll take a grinder, we'll try to form it right to the pipe, and then we'll weld all the way around. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it works out. Fresh out of the sandblaster. And see, we need to make that end go that way. Let me just beat it on a bench. How's that? Yeah, man, that's pretty good. Not bad for eyeballing it, huh? Let's mark that off with a Sharpie and cut off all the excess. Let's see if we can get that. There. Something like that. As long as they don't move. Swap hands. Like that. Are we in agreement? I say we go to the outside of the line on that one, huh? Let's see what we got. That's fine. It's not like I'm trying to fine tune it. I could have kept digging away at it. I just wanted to knock the bulk off it. I want to get a couple of tacks on it. We'll put it on the bike. We'll see what it looks like. If we have to fudge and kind of kick one side one way or another, we will. And if not, once the two tacks are on it, we'll just come back with a grinder and we'll just grind it flush with the rest of the pipe. I just didn't want to have to grind all that other crap off too. Yeah, let's see if we can get it. Back on the bike. Yeah, let's see what we got. It's just floating right now. It'll be out right about there. And the back probably could have came back a hair more. Actually, we know how we can fix that. We just back off out of there just a little bit before we tack that up. I think we're fine. I think we should just grind everything away and weld that up. I'll just hit that with weld again and round it down one more time. So this bracket needs to come off. I'm going to go over to bandsaw and just kind of hack around it and see how much of that we can get to. Even if it leaves some of the old skirt on the inside, that's fine. I'll hit it in the sandblaster cabinet and give us something good to weld to. Wish me luck. And back on the bike. It's pretty good. That bracket is just kind of floating in there. I think the next step we should probably do is just take it apart, prep this area for weld, and we'll bolt everything up so it's where the bracket's going to be, bend and twist and get everything right where we want. Then we'll put tacks on that bracket and we'll tack that, and we can take it apart and weld it all the way up. Again, we can still, not sure what we're going to do on the insides. Maybe we'll fire it up and listen to it. Might just leave it like that. We'll see. That's all tightened up. Got 2 hose clamps on it, sucking it down where it, nice fit. It's a little open under here because I backed it up about that much. And that put this shock right dead center around that. It's got good clearance all the way around. And everything's tight. I think we throw some tacks on it. Once it's kind of tacked together, I could beat that gap closed and a couple of tacks there, and we can weld it all up. And obviously got to do the guard over the top of it. We got to come up with the 2 locations for the 2 back holes, that's all. You want a Skittle? They're good. They're addicting. It says shear size. Well, it did say shear size. Get your sunglasses on. Close one eye. That way you'll still have one good eye. And it's all one except for our chrome guard. But I have it off. And what do you say? We fire it up. Let's see what it sounds like. I have no objection to putting the fuel tank back up again. I don't want to pull all the plastic and everything off. Put it back on. Let's go dump a little bit of fuel on the plug hole. See if we get one good rev out of it. Shoots fire out. And then finish up the exhaust. Maybe see what it's like with the exhaust on. We'll hook the tank up. It's out of gas now. I say, you go put the muffler on. What's that screw? Is that a rivet? It's one of the rivets from the muffler. Hey, I'm gonna go throw some black heat paint on there. And then we go bolt it on, it can stay on, and we'll figure out where the 2 holes are gonna go, the 2 bolts are gonna go for the shield, and we'll just kind of take some paint off in those areas, weld on them, and just on the bike. I stuck this in the vise and beat it back into some sort of submission of a curve again. Put 2 bolts on the back, cut them down. I got washers on the outside to help space them. We got the front location. We only have one screw for the front. I don't want that long stripped out piece of crap. Which we may cut down and put in there, I'm not sure. But for now, I'm just going to locate off of that one. And we'll just take it, eyeball it where we want it. Looks pretty good right there, right? And we'll give it a little. Hopefully, that makes us 2 marks where we need to clean. And the hard part is, I'm going to try getting in there and getting a tack on each one of those where they sit. Wish me luck. Yeah, I'd take it off one more time. I wouldn't been able to get up into the top section there. So now I can flip it, get a tack at each one, take it off and weld those permanent. Give them a coat of paint. How's that? Even tap that one so we got all the screws. No rattle. And should be fine around your leg. Yeah, it should work out just fine. Factory, I tell you. Might be a little louder than factory, but you didn't know, you wouldn't know. Let's get some gas to it. Alright, it's all together. Gas is on. Hopefully it starts. I've got a key in it. I do not have a key in it. Alright. Now let's give her. Sounds good though. I think that'll do. It's I want to knock it down a little bit. I'm probably going to put a VW Beetle pea shooter in it. They're about 1.25 inch diameter, so I'll mount that in there as a baffle and we'll just make a plate over the end of it and weld the center and weld the outside of it. I think that'll be just fine. But for now, we're going to leave her like a thumper like that. We'll play with it a little bit. That's it, guys. I started this late night project. And it is so late night that it got light out again. So it's time for me to go take a nap. I wanted to get some more work done on this. I'm happy with at least getting it nice and solid again. And having a little bit of fun with the welder and just playing with stuff and putting junk together, you know. So with that, guys, I'm going to go wrap it up. I want to thank all you for hanging out with me and just playing and making some old rusty crap come back to life. So with that, I will see you on the next one. Till then, later. Well, maybe after I clean up. I got chips and a couple of Skittles left. Take your pick.